Hello and welcome to my first ever video blog. I figure with everybody being stuck indoors, I would take this opportunity to really sit down, answer a few questions that I've been getting quite frequently, talk a little bit about markets, where we think they're going, where they're at, and some of our portfolio managers' information that they've shared with us, as well as really what we're doing moving forward and moving through this current time in the markets and with your portfolios. So I wanted to take the opportunity to really start off by answering a few questions we are getting from everybody in terms of what is going on, where are things at, and how is it looking right now. So let's start off by acknowledging that yes, the markets are down. They are pretty much down across the board and everywhere. And that is primarily on fear and what is going on with regards to the coronavirus and the unknown effects of how that is going to play out economically. And that fear-driven reaction is affecting everything. And it's affecting everything across the board, really, sometimes from a logical standpoint or not, right? So the best example I've given is in some of the steep trading days where the Dow saw major losses. One example was last week, the Dow saw major losses. One of the things that saw major losses with it on that day happened to be Amazon stocks. Amazon has just hired 100,000 new employees. Their profits are not going down. They have huge demand. We haven't seen the numbers yet, but there's no reason to believe that. Walmart also hiring new employees. Their profits are not been reported as down yet. We don't know where they're going to be, but people are panicking and selling everything together. Microsoft's another great example. It's been hit as hard as everything else for the most part. And the reality is, right now, companies are looking for laptops for people to work from home like we're doing here. So fear is affecting everything. And we don't have the numbers to know whether or not profits have gone up or down yet in a lot of these cases, and really to what effect they have and what it looks like. So what we're seeing out there is really a fear-based sell-off. And when a fear-based sell-off happens, good and bad things get hit at the same time. So our portfolio managers are working very hard to A, reduce the volatility existing portfolios right now, and B, take advantage of what is going on in the markets and buying what they think are good, smart stocks and smart buys at great prices because of the fear and the lowering of prices. So they've been doing that across the board within your portfolios. We've been rebalancing things, making sure we have proper allocation, proper exposure to a well-diversified portfolio, looking across the world, looking across asset classes. Gold was added to some of our portfolios for the first time ever in the later half of the fall last year, October, as a good measure for diversification. Some of our fixed income portfolios have hedged with US dollars in the latter half of December, which has really helped protect some of this downward slide, that along with things like increasing the duration on some of these fixed income portfolios. So with all the things we've been doing, it's also important to keep in mind that we have active allocation portfolios, meaning what the market's doing and what the media is reporting is not necessarily what you are doing. That's really important to keep in mind. So when you're concerned about your portfolio, call me. I'm always here. Email me, text me. I am working from home, but I have my phone on me pretty much 24 hours a day, and I'm happy to talk about things. Our portfolios are seeing drops. We are not being, we're not immune to this as well, as they say, but the drops are about half in many of our portfolios to what we've seen in the market. So keep that in mind. With all this fear, everything is bad news that's coming out. And that's the other thing to keep in mind. Bad news sells. So markets do have a stop on down, especially on pre-trading. We have hit that limit multiple times. That has been well reported. What many people don't know is there's actually also a stop on the upside on futures. And we have also hit that since this started. Doesn't seem to make the media coverage. So keep in mind there is some good in there with the bad, and it's important to follow that along. The other question I've been getting frequently is, should I stop contributing until the market comes back up? And my resounding answer to this is no. if you do not need the cash, which is another story, if you need the cash, if somebody's employment has been temporarily suspended, layoffs, that's very different, and we can absolutely stop things as we need to. But for those of you who are lucky enough to continue having a job and continue having income coming in and a salary coming in, we do not recommend stopping purchasing. The reason we set up monthly contributions is twofold. Yes, it's a cash flow issue. Yes, it makes it a lot easier when you pay yourself first. But secondarily, it's because of what we call dollar cost averaging. By having regular investments, you are buying as the market goes up and as the market comes down. And we do this over and over and over again, and we take emotion out of the picture. These downtimes are the best times to be buying. You are still buying the same investments. You are still buying units. And all that's happening is you're getting more than units than you used to. If your $1,000 used to buy you 100 units, now your $1,000 is buying you 130 units. And when prices come back up, as we fully expect that they will in the future, you will have more units growing faster. Again, I like to use examples. The way I think of it is, if you wanted that Samsung TV that was going to cost you $700 and it happens to go on sale on Boxing Day, you don't wait to buy that TV until it's a $700 TV because you don't want a $500 TV. You buy the TV. This is the same thing. If you can afford to continue your monthly contributions, we absolutely suggest that you do that. If you can afford to take some extra cash and put it in, this might be a great opportunity to do so. It's not necessarily the lowest of the low, and that money you put in may continue to go down. Probably will, although I don't have a crystal ball. But the reality is we are down, and we do expect it to come up. And timing the market is not something that we believe that the average person can or should even be trying to do. So waiting to invest until it starts to come up is not a great strategy. There have been tons of measures taken by governments across the world with regards to fiscal monetary policy. All of these things are being considered, being taken, being promised. And the belief of our portfolio managers and research gurus, as I like to say, is that when this does turn around, when the fear stops, when we have the health crisis portion under control, that the turnaround will be quick. The economic policy will take effect and people will start going out and buying, and things will turn around, and they will turn around quickly. Yes, unfortunately, there will be some things that do not recover. However, our belief is good long-term quality businesses will recover, and not only will they recover, they will most likely come back stronger as they will get the opportunity to pick up market share from those that didn't make it. So again, the message being, we are proactively doing things behind the scenes. We are managing your portfolios. We are rebalancing, and we are doing our job. What we ask of you is to do nothing. And doing nothing is very difficult. I absolutely understand that. People want to feel as though they're doing something, probably why they're buying mass quantities of toilet paper. But doing nothing is sometimes the hardest and best thing you can do, as Oscar Wilde said. So take this time, do nothing. If you need to do something, reach out to me. I am here to support you through this entire process. We are doing our jobs behind the scene. Take comfort in that. And I will continue to keep you updated. This is my first email and video, probably not my last. So if you want to reach out in the meantime, though, I am here all the time. Call me, and we are happy to set something up. If you want to share this with other people, if you have family members who are feeling nervous, who are not getting this kind of update, by all means, feel free to share with them as well. And I am happy to host calls, video meetings. We aren't doing anything in person right now because we do believe in social distancing, and that is what's going to be required to get this under control. So we are taking that on and are happy to meet in many other ways. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk soon.